Have any intentions of really trading any of them? I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. Fee's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it.
Ooh.
It's going to be amazing. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
The WNBA All-Star Game just delivered one of its most unexpected moments yet. Caitlin Clark made headlines. Not for her performance on the court, but for a bold decision that left fans stunned. She opted to switch coaches, and that move didn't go unnoticed. Sabrina Ionescu's reaction, let's just say it spoke volumes. But this wasn't just a simple roster change. It felt like something deeper, a message from Caitlin that could shake the foundations of the league itself. Was it strategy? Personal preference? Or something more symbolic? Let us know what you think Caitlin's real motive was in the comments below, and because this story is far from over.
Yeah, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
Let's get to it. You can coach Sabrina. So therefore, maybe Stewie wants to come on over to my team.
Whoa.
Let me know. Fee, you want to give me Stewie?
We have breaking news here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game. This is something you're agreeing to, Fee. There's no terms to this deal.
I agree with Cheryl. I agree with the trade. I love Cheryl. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side. We got more synergy. We know what we expect from each other. So that was a bad move on your part, Caitlin. We're taking you down.
Let's break down what really happened during the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game Draft. Because this wasn't just a simple swap of players or coaches. What unfolded looked like a carefully planned move, a strategic shakeup that had everyone talking. It wasn't chaos by accident, but it was a bold statement wrapped in precision.
Maybe it's going to be the X Factor. The coaches are maybe going to be the X Factor.
Hey, Sandy, defending champion, loves to shoot threes, lets her players get after it. I don't know. I'm feeling good with Sandy and Sabrina on my team. Like I said, if you want to send Stewie over too, I'll take her. So
what's the offer? What's the offer for Stewie?
What's the offer here?
Now imagine this. You're watching what's meant to be a lighthearted, entertaining WNBA All-Star Draft. When Caitlin Clark suddenly changes the game, in a historic move, she became the first player in league history to initiate a coach swap, trading Cheryl Reeve for a Sandy Brondello. The decision left everyone stunned. But the moment got even better when Sabrina Ionescu found out she'd be reunited with her New York Liberty coach, Sandy Brondello, on Team Clark. Her reaction? Instantly iconic. With a confident grin, she told Clark, "You can't escape me." And just like that, the entire event went from playful to unforgettable, with fans and players alike buzzing over the bold move.
What was your favorite play individually tonight with the 3 blocks and also the offense? What was your favorite play for you? And Coach, you may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
They announced it? Yeah. That you got traded? Yeah. Oh, I got to go look at all that. Traded? I have no idea what the teams are. Second time in history now. Jeez, as a player.
Let's be honest about what this move really signaled. Caitlin Clark's decision to move on from Cheryl Reeve wasn't made on a whim. It was deliberate and calculated. There's a well-known history between Clark and Reeve, and it hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. Those who follow the league closely understand the tension that's been building for quite some time. This wasn't just about picking a coach, it was about making a statement.
And I got traded, yes. My son hit me up after he goes, I've created history. This is awesome, I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and have some fun.
Let's rewind for a moment. Remember when Caitlin Clark was left off the U.S. Olympic roster? At that time, Cheryl Reeve was the head coach for Team USA, and the decision sparked serious debate across the basketball world. Things got even more tense when Reeve later commented on the growing media attention surrounding Clark, suggesting the focus might be going too far. Those remarks didn't sit well with many fans and definitely didn't go unnoticed by Clark herself. So when Caitlin made the call to swap coaches for the All-Star game, it felt like more than just a strategic decision. It was a clear message. If she wasn't considered good enough for the Olympic stage, then she wasn't going to accept that same leadership at the All-Star level either. Some called it bold. Others saw it as the ultimate power move. Either way, the message was heard loud and clear.
At the All-Star game. Right here, Benny. No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited. It's never happened to me before, so this is the first time. Obviously, super comfortable being able to go there with a coach that loves me, and I'm really excited to be able to just kind of share that together. I mean, I think it's obviously an honor to be able to go with my teammate, but also the coaching staff and everyone. Like, it's a time to celebrate, obviously, our accomplishments, but hers as well. Like, it's not easy to be like a top coach and have to go do that. So I'm excited to kind of be able to spend that all together.
And then you're on Clark, and Brianna's obviously on Collier. Caitlin tried to trade for her at the end, but it fell through at the last minute. Are you guys going to make any like deals or bets on the game between teammates, or what's that going to be like to be foes for a day?
It'll be weird. Maybe we'll just allow each other to trade off baskets and shoot. But no, I mean, the All-Star Game's always fun. It's not that competitive, and it's just kind of you get to go out there, enjoy, have fun, and just kind of celebrate the accomplishments. So I'm excited for all of us.
Let's talk about how Sandy Brondello handled this unprecedented moment, because her reaction was nothing short of pure class. When she found out she'd been traded to coach Team Clark in the All-Star Game, she took it in stride, with a smile. In fact, her own son texted her to say she'd just made history as the first coach to ever be traded in an all-star format. Imagine that. Mom, you're officially famous for getting traded. The move was approved live on national television during the July 8th draft, adding even more drama to the moment. ESPN likely didn't know whether to be shocked or thrilled, because they were witnessing a ratings goldmine. And Caitlin Clark. She simply looked into the camera and said, "If that's not in the rules, it is now." Confident, direct, completely unfazed. That's the kind of presence that demands attention and reshapes narratives. What made the moment even more impactful was Sabrina Ionescu being part of it. Not only was she picked for Team Clark, but she also found out her New York Liberty coach Sandy Brondello would be joining her. Her reaction? A playful, "You can't escape me." But behind the banter was a deeper connection, a familiarity that could give Team Clark a competitive edge. From Sabrina's perspective, it's the perfect setup. She's been working with Brondello all season, knows her system, understands her play calling, and now gets to bring that chemistry into a star-studded lineup. That's not just coincidence, that's a smart basketball. But this moment wasn't just about coaching swaps or friendly banter. It revealed something bigger, the rise of player empowerment in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, still early in her pro career, made a decision that reshaped the structure of the All-Star Game. She didn't wait for approval, she didn't hold back, she just acted, and by doing so, she made a powerful statement. Players can, and should, have a voice in how these moments are shaped. It's no secret this came after the controversy surrounding Clark being left off the Olympic roster, a decision made under Cheryl Reeve's leadership. Many saw this trade as more than just a preference for another coach. It was about taking control of her narrative. And then there's the ripple effect. Napheesa Collier, who plays for Reeve in Minnesota, found herself on a team opposite her own coach. That dynamic added a layer of tension and unpredictability to the event. It was a reshuffling of loyalties and relationships in real time. Media outlets reacted in different ways. Some treated it as playful entertainment. Others recognized it as a meaningful power play. A statement that this new generation of athletes is ready to take ownership of their platform. And let's not overlook Sandy Brondello's professionalism in all of this. She was suddenly tasked with leading a roster full of unfamiliar faces, including Caitlin Clark, one of the most talked about players in the game. But rather than shy away, she embraced the challenge. That's the mark of a true leader. Adaptable, composed, and ready for anything. Sabrina's lighthearted reaction reminded fans that while the competition is fierce, there's also deep mutual respect and camaraderie among these elite athletes. This wasn't just about switching coaches. This was a masterclass in how today's WNBA players are reshaping the game, on and off the court. What made this entire moment even more memorable was Caitlin Clark's calm and confident delivery. There was no grand announcement, no theatrics, just a simple, matter-of-fact statement. we're trading coaches. It was the kind of casual confidence that caught everyone off guard. Not because of the move itself, but how effortlessly she pulled it off. Fans responded exactly how you'd expect. Supporters of Caitlin Clark embraced the moment, calling it bold and unforgettable. Others, particularly fans of Cheryl Reeve, felt it crossed a line. And as always, basketball purists debated whether this kind of spontaneous decision might change the tone of future All-Star events. But here's the truth. This is exactly what exhibition games need. For years, the All-Star format had become predictable. Caitlin's unexpected move brought a fresh energy to the event, reminding everyone why these games exist: to entertain, to innovate, and to spotlight the players' personalities and leadership. Sabrina Ionescu's presence in this story added even more weight. She's not just another star, she's one of the league's most respected players. Her reaction to being reunited with her Liberty coach, Sandy Brondello, spoke volumes. Her lighthearted "you can't escape me" remark wasn't just a joke. It highlighted the deep connection and mutual respect they've built throughout the season. It was a reflection of the strong, enduring relationships that define the WNBA. From a broader view, this moment symbolized the evolving landscape of the league. Young stars like Caitlin Clark are stepping up and shifting the culture. Veterans like Ionescu are embracing these new dynamics, and coaches like Sandy Brondello are rising to the challenge with professionalism and poise. Brondello's reaction was particularly noteworthy. She could have taken offense at being part of a spontaneous trade, but instead she embraced the novelty. Even her son joked with her about making history, a reminder that this was more than just a game. It was a milestone moment in WNBA history. This also mirrors what we're seeing across professional sports. Players are speaking up more, advocating for environments that suit their style and elevate their performance. Caitlin's decision wasn't about drama. It was about creating the best conditions for success, and the timing couldn't have been more significant. With recent Olympic roster debates still fresh, tensions were already high. Questions about who made the cut, the role of coaches, and how decisions were made were still lingering. So when Caitlin made her move, it added another layer to an already charged atmosphere. The media frenzy that followed was almost as entertaining as the moment itself. Analysts scrambled to confirm if such a trade was even allowed. Announcers speculated on the fallout. Social media lit up with every angle imaginable. It was pure chaos, but the kind that captivates audiences and keeps them engaged. Sabrina Ionescu found herself at the center of it all, not because she asked to be, but because her existing relationship with Brondello suddenly became a key part of the story. And her response showed just how well she understood the bigger picture. This wasn't just about a coach swap. It was about leadership, empowerment, and the shifting dynamics of professional women's basketball. At its core, this move was about team chemistry and gaining a competitive edge. And while it may have seemed spontaneous in the moment, its impact could be felt for years to come. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game might just be remembered as the turning point, where players realized they had more influence than ever before, where coaches were reminded that their relationships with players matter, even in exhibition settings. What made it so powerful was how real it felt. Caitlin Clark's decision didn't come off as a stunt. It felt sincere. Sabrina Ionescu's lighthearted response wasn't rehearsed, it was authentic. And Sandy Brondello's reaction, filled with amusement and poise, reflected true professionalism. In a time where sports moments can often feel overly curated, this one stood out for its spontaneity and emotion. But beyond the surface, there were real strategic benefits to this move. Caitlin gained a fresh coaching perspective with no prior biases about her playstyle. Meanwhile, Sabrina found herself back with a coach who knows how to bring out the best in her, a dynamic that could give her team a serious edge. Moves like these, the ones that seem unconventional at first, often turn out to be the most impactful. And this wasn't just about personalities. It was a showcase of character. Caitlin's boldness, Sabrina's adaptability, and Sandy's steady leadership all played a role in turning this into a moment fans won't soon forget. When you compare it to iconic moments in sports history, this one holds its own. Not just for what happened, but for how it happened. Live in real time under the spotlight of national television and social media. With no script, no filters, and no chance to rewind. What made it even more compelling was the history behind it. The tension between Caitlin Clark and Cheryl Reeve wasn't just speculation. It was rooted in real decisions, real consequences, and a very public Olympic snub. That's what gave this moment its emotional weight. A mixture of personal history and professional stakes colliding on one of the league's biggest stages. Sabrina Ionescu's role was just as important. Her witty remark, "You can't escape me," added just the right touch of humor, and instantly became one of the most memorable one-liners in WNBA All-Star history. It gave the moment levity without taking away from its significance. From a coaching perspective, Sandy Brondello was suddenly on the opposite side of familiar faces, coaching against her own team, guiding players she's worked with for months. The WNBA's tight-knit structure means moves like this are never just tactical. They carry emotional and relational weight. What stood out most was how everyone involved handled the situation with grace. Despite the tension, no one lost their composure. No one made it personal. And yet, every individual allowed their personality to shine through. That's what makes this league special. A combination of professionalism, authenticity, and competitive spirit. This moment captured everything that makes women's basketball so compelling right now. The sport is growing rapidly. Players are becoming icons, the storylines are getting stronger, and the stakes keep rising. And through it all, moments like this remind us why we watch, not just for the scores, but for the stories behind them. Social media, as expected, erupted. Fans who don't typically follow the WNBA suddenly found themselves glued to the drama. That's the impact of genuine, unscripted moments. They cut through boundaries and bring in audiences from all corners. From a league perspective, this couldn't have been scripted better. What could have been just another routine all-star draft turned into a viral sensation, one that fans, media, and players will be talking about for a long time. And the beauty of it? It didn't come from a marketing team. It came from players simply being themselves on the biggest stage. Sometimes the most effective publicity comes from letting personalities shine without interference. And the ripple effects of Caitlin Clark's coach trade might reach further than anyone expects. If players begin to seek more input in exhibition formats, especially in how teams are structured, it could prompt a new era of flexibility in league events. Without even intending to, Caitlin Clark may have set a powerful precedent. But this was about more than just strategy or roster preferences. Clark's move signaled leadership. It showed a willingness to stand up for herself, to define her own space, and to challenge long-standing expectations, even in a seemingly lighthearted setting like the All-Star Game. It was a bold statement, and Sabrina Ionescu's response only added to the moment. Her reaction felt like the perfect exclamation point. Lighthearted, yet deeply meaningful. It reminded everyone that even in high-stakes environments, the camaraderie, relationships, and personalities within the league are what truly elevate the game. This coach swap didn't just add flavor to a single event, it may have changed how All-Star games are viewed and structured for years to come. And more importantly, it reignited a conversation about player empowerment in professional women's basketball. So the question now is, will this spark a long-term shift in how much influence players have over these events? Let us know what you think. Has Caitlin Clark just opened the door for a new level of player control in the WNBA?